5. Unsolved UFO Mysteries. The flashing lights over the wide New Jersey field. The alleged UFO crashes in Roswell, New Mexico. For many years now, people from all walks in life have looked up to the skies and reported having seen unidentified flying objects. And while some of these cases were able to bore out explanations like weather balloons, rocket flares, etc., there are still mysteries found up in the skies that even today have yet to be explained. Here are 5 baffling unsolved UFO mysteries. Number 5. The Varginha Incident. Considered as one of the most mind-boggling UFO mystery cases, the incident in Varginha, Brazil, has caught the attention of the world for many years. It actually happened in a series of events, and one of which even involved the Brazilian government, whereby it was reported that the military was able to capture a live extraterrestrial being. The book by now renowned ufologist Dr. Roger Lehr reveals in full detail the series of events that occurred in 1996. According to Lehr, it all began with a warning from the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, to Brazil's Airspace Authority, SINDACTA. NORAD apparently has been tracking a UFO flying above the Western Hemisphere and heading towards Brazil's airspace. Just as immediately, reports of mass UFO sightings erupted from the city of Varginha, in Minas Gerais, Brazil. The news took the country by storm, whereby some even claimed having seen strange creatures wandering the area. Just as quick as the news surfaced, the issue suddenly died down when the government intervened. Not even one person was ever heard talking about it again. Number 4. The glowing lights over Mount Shasta. The National UFO Reporting Center is a legitimate U.S. organization focusing on the investigation of UFO sightings and alleged contact with the other kind happening around the world. One report that stood out pertains to what an airline captain said about seeing strange blue lights glowing over Mount Shasta in California. The pilot was then cruising between Los Angeles and Portland when he reportedly saw the lights. According to his testimony, the lights looked to be brighter than the stars that shine in the area of the skies that night. He and the rest of the cockpit crew noted the lights to be shining outside of Earth's atmosphere. What makes it even more bizarre is the fact that the illuminated objects appear to sit still in their position. The captain and later the investigators agreed that we still don't have that kind of craft that has a capability to fly at that high altitude and remain stationary. Number 3. A retired astronaut's experience. If you got to hear a UFO story, you have got to hear it from someone you could really rely on the integrity of their words. These types of people are airline pilots, fighter pilots, and astronauts. Well, this person in question happens to be the 3 of them. He's a former commercial pilot before serving the U.S. Air Force, and later as an astronaut on the International Space Station, ISS. According to his account, he and his family were stargazing at their place in Athens, Texas one night. He then noticed what appeared to be glowing fireballs moving rapidly overhead. Minutes passed and a couple more objects of similar appearance followed the same exact flight path. Then, 3 minutes later, another pair zoomed past the very same route. In both times, he noticed the objects flying without giving off a sound. In his report to the New Fork, he initially thought them to be orbs created from atmospheric heating. But the way they flew, their utter silence, and the fact that they were never seen again made him believe he was seeing a different kind of flying object. "I have no explanation for what we saw," said the former ISS astronaut. Number 2. The French Incident. The year was 1981 when authorities from the quiet town of Tranzy Province, France, received a call from a 55-year-old farmer reporting about a strange disc-shaped flying object landing and then taking off from his farm. The experts, including those from France's UFO investigative body, JEPAN, arrived at the scene and took soil and plant samples in the area. Based on the chemical evidence, they found that the soil was indeed heated and pressed as if by a heavy object. The plants, meanwhile, gave off traces of zinc and phosphate element composition. This was supposed to be an abnormality in the plants. No one ever knew or could explain what kind of flying object had damaged the farm of that poor farmer. And number 1. The Project Blue Book. Out of all the reports of unexplained sightings, only a few have remained to be a mystery. In fact, the data suggests that less than 10% of all these cases are truly unexplainable. Less than 10%? That is still something. The Project Blue Book, for example, is an initiative instigated by the U.S. Air Force in the 1940s with the goal of looking into every UFO sighting from the country and around the world. The program logged more than a whopping 12,000 reports over the course of its run until its termination in 1969. Most of the Project Blue Book sightings were, shall we say, ultimately explained, but a handful remained unexplained. Those involved in the program were sworn to secrecy of these remaining cases, as they were still deemed to be too controversial if opened up to the public. Needless to say, these few remaining cases were believed to be true alien sightings, or at least unexplainable phenomenon involving extraterrestrial entities. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.